Imagine attending a work meeting instead of a Charlemagne stream. Couldn't be me. This is truly the most important stream of the entire year. So, you have a work meeting on Discord? That sounds awful. That sounds terrible, to be honest. Does that mean that your work? Do you have? Wait, is it your? Do you use like your normal Discord? All of your coworkers can see your Discord profile picture and your little message thingy. That sounds awful. I would just, if my work ever asked me to do that, I would just leave. Just permanently. Just walk away. Yeah, you gotta call us on Discord, dude. No, thank you. I'm alright. I'll pass. The womp on the sound. Wait, you have the soundboard activated too? Oh man, that sounds like my worst nightmare. I don't want to be in a Discord call for work with like somebody with a furry profile picture, somebody with like some anime, some K-pop girly. That sounds like a fucking nightmare. No bueno. Alright. Anyways. We're here. We're in FF14. But we'll be switching back and forth. This is another one of those use the game as a reference streams, which was a lot of fun last time. And I've gotten a lot of very nice comments, to be honest, on the YouTube video that we made for that one. Some people who didn't really know much about the FF14 TTRPG who enjoyed seeing bits and pieces of it. So yeah, you guys have got me wanting to do more of it now. Just talking with people and seeing people's excitement for it. It's got me motivated to make more maps. So yeah, we'll be doing that again. Now I talked about wanting to make this map back when we were kind of scouting references during that one stream. So we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna do the pirate ship one, which I think last time I was like, this one's gonna be tough. So yeah, we're doing the tough one today, which, to be fair, none of the other ones have been particularly easy. It's very specific trying to recreate these like FF14 aesthetics. They've got a very strong art style in this game, which I really like. And so I'm trying to do it its service, you know? I want it to look like, you know, when you look at the map, you should go, oh yeah, I know what that is. Shouldn't just look like any sort of generic fantasy world. It should have this very specific vibe. Yeah, last time I got 500 views, it was from playing this terrible King Kong game. So I know what the people like, truly. Truly, I am a skeleton of the people. Anyways, we'll go and take a look at a couple different ships in game first and kind of get the references. We can always swap back and forth, but we'll probably just switch over. I might take some screenshots just so I can reference them. And then we will switch over to Incarnate and we'll make the map. We're gonna kind of start off with the pirate ship default sort of look in Incarnate, and then we're gonna try to switch it over into an FF14 style ship, which for those who play this game, it's a really specific aesthetic that we're gonna try to recreate. Watching me grow in real time, I'm just like a little baby skeleton. Anyways, this is Charlotte Lemaine for the unfamiliar. This is our character. She's looked the same for 10 plus years. She's never gonna change. Anyways, I already checked my retainers, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's start. We love Charlotte, true. I think we'll start in Limsa and we'll take a look at the bigger ship, and I think we're gonna blend it with the one that's just off the coast of Costa del Sol, because we can we can kind of meld those two designs together. Take the bits that we sort of see in each of them and use them, and try to make one constant vibe. But we're gonna go into Limsa first and take a look at the big ship down by the, I think, Fisherman Guild. Is that one we can go inside and explore? Now, we're not gonna need the interior really. This is just gonna be like kind of one little place to visit. I don't think we're gonna model the entire interior, but you never know. But we just want to look at the top of the ship first. I'm standing inside of... I remember that armor. The armor that makes you unequip your headgear. Classic. Alright. Fisherman's Bottom, right? A lot of people apparently play this game for a long time and never go inside this ship. So we'll see if that's true this time too. If we get any people being like, huh? Wait, what? You can go in that ship? Come on, guys. Haven't you ever just listlessly, wistfully, and whimsically wandered around Limsa Lominsa listening to the night theme and looking at the stars? Is that just me? Just me? Okay. Yeah, of course. There we go. Ooh. Yeah, we can get the moonfire fireworks in the background. That's cozy. Okay. The Astrolisium. So I did the exact same thing I did last time. Last time we went to this ship. Okay, this is like a week or two ago. I come into the ship and I'm like, I go up here and I'm trying to get up on top of the ship and I go this way and then I do that. And then the next time we went in the ship on that same stream, I did the exact same thing and I commented, why do I keep turning left when I know that the way up is right? And I just did it again today. I really did not learn my lesson at all. All right. Okay. So. So the Astrolisia, I think, is a bigger ship than what we're going to be kind of trying to design. I think we're going to go for one that's more... I mean, size-wise, it doesn't really matter. Just as long as it has enough room to fit the players and potentially a combat encounter, I think we're good. Especially because there's a lot of AoEs in FF14 TTRPG. So we want to make sure that we leave some room for AoEs as well. So maybe we actually should opt for a slightly larger ship. But again, we're going to try to meld maybe this vibe with the one in Costa del Sol. So the first thing that we notice is... Okay, so the map, again, is going to be top-down. So we're gonna do this and we're gonna look at everything. So I think the one in Costa del Sol has the helm actually towards the fore of the ship rather than the aft. So I think we might stick with it being back here, just to kind of keep it out of the way so that we can do the deck of the ship as having enough room for players to fight something. Now we're gonna try to get this same aesthetic. So the really important part, and I talked about this a little bit when I was doing some of the other stuff, some of the other Limsa stuff, is this sort of faded wood grain, where it's almost got this kind of grayish quality to it. Not overly reddy, not overly orangey, or it's got kind of just a little bit of a gray. Now, if you zoom way in and look at it, you can see little like hints of green and stuff like that, and it's got this sort of different vibe. But we're not going to aim it too far green when we're adjusting our hue, because Ah, sorry. Something stuck in my throat. I'm gonna drink some water. We're not gonna aim too far green because that'll look wrong. I find that just going for like a darker and a little bit grayer brown gets the right aesthetic. And then we're gonna use the metal that we were using before for our Limsa map. And you sort of drain a bit of the color away from it and make it really dark. And you get this sort of black iron aesthetic that is very associated with Limsa. Like if you look at Limsa off in the distance there's two sort of major things that stick out other than like the greenery and the rocks. You got that white stone, right? And you've got the black iron. Those are like the two major aesthetics, and the boats kind of match that in their black iron. So we're gonna try to like border a lot of the parts of the ship with that black iron, which that could be hard. We're gonna have to see, but I think we can manage it. And then we've got sort of railings everywhere that when we look at them from the top we can recreate with posts and stuff. I think that should be fine. The black helm, that'll be maybe a little bit tricky, but we'll see once we're in. We could try to do something like this, kind of where the captain's quarters would be, a bit of a skylight into that. That could be pretty interesting, a way to like let light in. Looking at it from the top down, I feel like maybe we could do something like this, but this would be another thing we'd have to test out. Barrels and crates and stuff like that, and rope, we got all that done. We just need to make sure that we kind of match. Again, these don't really match the wood of the ship. They're a little more orangey. But just for the sake of like cohesion, I like to try to... It is still a faded wood, right? If we look at it. We got little sacks and stuff, we can totally do that. As far as the railings on the outer side of the ship, I do think we could kind of recreate this look. See how it's got this kind of like engraved patterning? Sort of very ornate. I think we could kind of do something like that. And if we use like a little bowsprit on the back and match it, I think we could kind of do 1, 2, 3, drape some rope between them. I totally think, yeah, we could totally do that. I've done that before for spelljammers in our spelljammer setting. And it does look pretty good. So I think we could totally do something like that. So we got kind of 2 lines of iron back here, and then these sort of curved patterns. And so in my brain, you guys probably will think this too once I say it, but it's sort of got like the basketball court vibe, where you got these sort of lines drawn across wooden floor, and they have these sort of curved lines like a basketball court. Like this is where you'd like shoot from, right? Yeah, three-pointer or whatever. See? So we're gonna try to recreate that a little bit. Now, I think the Astrolicia might be a little too complicated in terms of layers right here, like tiers. Because when you're doing something from the top down, this won't translate very well. Like this little difference here between this and this, it looks great in 3D, but from the top down, it won't really have the same vibe. And so I think maybe simplifying it to be a little more like how the ship in Costa del Sol works will give a bit more room for players to have a fight there, rather than crowding it up with a bunch of like little tiered landings. I don't think that's quite the right thing. Now, so this ship here has like a bunch of masts, huh? It's kind of crazy. And I don't know if we could do that. Like we could, but I don't know if we should. So we could try to do something like this little bit here. That could be interesting. Like these little lookout points. And then like a huge... Okay, trying to work the bowsprit into the actual ship itself, like it is here. How it kind of just runs right in. That could be interesting. We're gonna have to be a little bit creative with the bowsprit, because I think it's so big and it's got this like detailing, these rings here. And then, oh yeah, notice that there's ropes there too we could use. That'll add a little bit of extra detail. But I do think we could probably create these. think that would work. These little like kind of side things. I don't know if we should do 3 masts though. Might be a bit extreme. But they're just kind of nestled into their own little thing here, right? So, I mean, if it works out, we could do it. As far as the actual sails themselves, they seem to be pretty standard, but maybe some little metal fasteners as well. And then the crow's nests in particular are a little specific. And that might be hard to recreate, but we can try. There's also like what looks to be like big lamps there, which could be an interesting thing to try to recreate. But again, from the top down, it's always a little dicey because you don't want to fill too much stuff with like what would be actually above the players in a top-down map, because then they just feel like they're standing on top of everything, and that kind of ruins immersion. So you do kind of need to clear out some of the overhead when you're making a TTRPG map and just let it be imagined sometimes. So when I'm making ships, I do display the sails and mast, but I'm wary of like how much of it I put kind of in the way. It's like how you don't model the ceiling of a building when you're doing a top-down thing, because it'd just be in the way. You don't need a chandelier up on the ceiling, and so you do lose a lot of detail that way. I always comment that when you're making TTRPG maps, you lose the detail of the walls a lot, so you can't like hang things from the walls. You know, all these like ornate paintings and stuff like that. You kind of lose that because it's just a wall, right? You can still kind of create the image that something's hung on the wall, but you don't get like the same level of detail of a wallpaper and all these ornate things that you'd model into an environment that's 3D. And you also lose some of the ceiling detail. And so we have to sort of recreate that as best we can while realizing that we're losing stuff so that we can add stuff in other places so that we still get a good level of detail. So again, near the base of the mast, they transition everything into this iron. So there's like big kind of plates of it. Plates here as well. It's got like a ton of like we laughed at this guy last time. You good, bro? But we could try to maybe I didn't realize I could drop off there. So the side of the ship won't be very visible. Man, could you imagine being on the that'd be so cozy to be on the inside of one of these things with the windows? That'd be so nice. Like a little parapet. Okay, don't say anything, Dad. Don't say anything. I didn't just go the wrong way. That was a joke. I did it on purpose. I was just being funny. So we have these sort of like side bits here that are sort of stretched out a little. See? And the sort of like chunkiness of these ships is a little iconic to them, actually. Like, it's very, again, they're a really hard aesthetic to describe, but they've got such a unique vibe to them. So I kind of want to recreate it as best I can. There's little bits that kind of come in, and this outer railing here looks like it's flush with the ship at the back, but it's actually not towards the front, is it? If we look back here, see, it looks like this railing is flush with the ship, see? And it is towards the rear of the ship. This little like ornate part, but then it starts to separate out as the ship kind of comes in, see? And then you've got these little gaps between that railing. That's something we could try. I'm gonna start, you know what? I'm gonna record a video of me walking across the ship, and then we can just use that as reference. I'll mute it and I'll use that as reference. So we'll start here at the bowsprit and we'll just run across the whole ship, and we'll use this as reference. Okay. So here we have the little sort of parapets that we want to add in. These little balconies almost. The front ones have no railing. The middle ones that are a little bigger have the same railing that the back kind of helm has. And then we've got this ornate little bit that's kind of separated out if you look top down. Then it's got masts separated out into this part, into these little balconies of their own, as well as sort of a mizzen mast and and main mast as well. And then 2 staircases on either side. 2 staircases, 1 on either side. Actually, there are 2 staircases on either side. There's 1 here, right? And then we've got the bigger ones. Now, I don't know that we'll do 2. Maybe we'll reel that back and just do 1 on either side. And then we've got these little lanterns here, as well as that same type of railing for the helm, metal plating, and then the back has sort of the bigger railing, as well as these little posts on the back with rope woven in between them, and then this sort of skylight bit here, as well as some details of clutter. We'll go back through it the other way, looking for other clutter. There's a staircase here, but I don't think we're going to put a stair there. Some clutter here. We've got little bottles and maps, rolled up scrolls, sacks of stuff, barrels, a little bit of food. Guy eating food. Yeah, more boxes, bottles, crates and sacks. We can do all that. They got kind of a dark wood grain to the crates. And then we're back. Okay. Alright. So I just made a little 2-minute recording so that we can pull that back up and reference it when we need to see something specific in the environment. Now, I think that's it for this ship. I think we're good. Is this the captain? Who's the captain here? You the captain? You the captain? Ma'am? She looks like she's from Moldova. They say these pirates know how to swing an axe, so I've been looking for a fight to hone my own skills. Probably is from Moldova. I'll fight you. That doesn't seem like a fair fight though. Random like level 4 gladiator versus warrior of light. Coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb. Anyway, so let's go look at the other ship now. So I think this is basically the only ship that you can get on in Limsa. So let's go to where one of the other ships are. So the one in Costa del Sol is a smaller ship. And we're going to maybe try to balance the features of the 2 of them, sort of mesh them into one ship. So we got the aesthetic, but it's not an exact copy of any of them. More so just because I want to make sure that there's enough room for a combat encounter. And I feel like the one is a little too big, and thus then they kind of cluttered it up. And so for our purposes, you can't quite have a proper fight there. And then this one might be just a bit too small. So the ship just off the coast here that we're going to fly to. There's the tower over there in the distance. I've climbed to the top of the tower like 4 times now this year. I think a total of like 7-ish times since from last year when we were tower aspirants, and now we're a tower champion. We're gonna have to make the tower harder next year because we're getting too used to it. I'm getting too good at it. Okay, so the major thing that we notice right off the bat is that the helm on this smaller ship is actually way farther forward. Now, same sort of detail in wood plus black iron. So we keep all that consistent. There's not quite as much of a big railing around the outside that's all ornate. It's a little simpler. We got these 2 kind of like landing bits here on either side. And I noticed that there's sort of a non-standard shape. You get this kind of like hook inward like that, instead of just being a straight line. And so we might have to do that ourselves as well. Give it a bit of shape. And then that same sort of, as I was calling them, basketball court lines on our wood staircase here, which is a little less obtrusive the way that these stairs are done. See how there's a little more room kind of in the center here? not quite as cluttered. And I think that that might be good for a combat encounter. Now, same kind of mast in general. But it's got these kind of ropes coming out. I think we should do that detail with the ropes. I think that'll look pretty good. A similar front of the ship. We got the bowsprit here that there's this whole like bottom deck there. That's kind of neat. I never noticed that before. How did they get to that? Is there doors there? Kind of. Those might be doors. And so it does kind of like meld into the ship itself. We're gonna have to try that. Dun, 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 dun. We could put a shark in the water. That'd be pretty easy to do. Yeah, so there's like this sort of like, yeah, it melds right into the actual ship. This maybe like triangular little bit here is honestly gonna be a little tough. So we'll have to see what we're operating with, and we'll have to maybe do some drawing of our own. Because it'll be a little tricky. And then there's the same little metal rings, though not as ornate here. This is a smaller bowsprit, but those same ropes that kind of come off and attach to it. Not really sure what purpose those would serve on a boat, unless you're just climbing them. Because they don't seem to be fastened too much. To climb up. It's so that if you're standing here like an asshole like I am, doing King of the World, then if you fall, you have something to grab onto. That's what it's for. Now, they got a cannon at the front of the ship. I didn't notice any cannons on the other one, were there? I didn't see any. They probably down, like, in the portholes, but we could just put a cannon on the front. That'd be fun. I like to put cannons in environments, because then you never know when a player is going to be like, can I push this cannon to aim it? And then you go, okay, yeah, make a strength check, and then you get to do fun stuff. So I think we should put a cannon on the ship. We could put it at the front. Does this ship have a name, dude? No. Okay. So if we left the helm at the back, it would not be this far back, I don't think. It would be a little further forward. So we could kind of bump this maybe, and then take these stairs and maybe bump them a little bit and kind of put them here or something like that. Again, we'll have to kind of like tweak things a little bit as we're going. I'm trying to like visualize it ahead of time. If we left the helm back here, but I'd be all right with moving the helm up. It's very unique. Definitely don't see that a lot. But we'll have to kind of see what we're able to do with the actual assets. We can get very creative, but you know, within reason. This is not a player, is it? Oh yeah, this is an NPC. I was like, it's not just a person who's like staring at the fishing rod and not actually fishing, right? Yeah, and then we've got these little sections down here, which I suppose we could try to represent. Suppose those are for boarding. They would put down like a bridge and then get down onto the dock like that. Makes sense because they got one on either side, so they could dock either way. And then we got this little section down here. Oh yeah, those are little doors. Oh, that's cute. It's a good detail. So you could get out on the front here if you just wanted to. I don't know. What is this part of the ship for? Is this when you just wanna have a smoke and you don't want the captain to find you? Just, all right, meet me out. Meet me down below the thingy. There's no There's none of those little posts on the back, so maybe we'll add those from the other ship. The kind of little, I guess they're not really bowsprits, really. They're not on the bow, but whatever. You get what I mean. These are like little windows, aren't they? Man, I stand by it that as far as like comfy ships go, I think FF14's got some comfy ships. All these like little windows looking out on the ocean while it's raining. That'd be so cozy. Now, we're not going to be able to do any of that detailing, but so we're going top down. Let's actually, how high can we go? What if we just really, really high up and we just, there we go. All right, map done. We'll just take a screenshot of that. And the map is done. Ta-da! Wow, that was quick. Never say I don't work quick. Ah, you even got an animated rain effect? Wow, that's impressive. All right. Should we do another? Should we do another video? Do another. Actually, you know what? We might as well just take a little recording of this from the top down. I'll have to mute it because I'm talking and I hate hearing my own voice. We'll take a little recording of that, and then we'll actually just continue this. Ready? Swoop down through and look at the details. So we got cannon on the front, helm at the front with the same sort of railing as the other one, same sort of setup. We got those black iron stairs that are going to be a little tricky, to be honest, but we might be able to work it. Got the back of the ship looking like this. We got these little things at the side here. It looks something like that. And then the detailing along the side of the ship looks like this. At the front, they've got that same railing that they've got around the helm. And then we got the same sort of... Take a look at this for a sec. And then we'll look up the bowsprit here. Same sort of ropes. Look at what the... Okay, so from the top, we got pretty standard sails. They don't look too out of the ordinary, just some metal, black, like iron detailing. No real crow's nest on this one, except for, I guess, if you consider that to be one. I don't know how people get inside that, but I don't know if it's just a light or if it's a place someone can sit. But either way, you can't really see it much from the top. It's just more like a sort of metal spire. So maybe we'll avoid crow's nest a little bit. Just to sort of steer away from the aesthetic of the general pirate ship. Okay. So I think that's it for ships that we can use. There might actually be one in it's either Aleport or Wineport. There might be one in either of them, but let's just quickly go through Lenosha a little bit. See if there's any other pirate ships. We won't look at them in as big of detail, but we'll just kind of quickly glance at the tall ships and see if there's any other like things that they do differently in those ones that we could glean like we're Aaronville and yoink it for our map. Okay. So. Okay, yeah, we actually can go on these ships. So this one seems to be a little similar to the Astralicia. Not as detailed actually on the railings here. That's actually honestly, that's actually good attention to detail for the game. The Astralicia is just a nicer ship, so it's got more ornate detailing. They could have just reused the model for the ships, and no one would have noticed. But the fact that there's now 3 different variants of this same sort of aesthetic of ship is kind of crazy. It didn't have to go that hard. No one would have cared. You barely spend any time on these ships. So it's sort of like a little more similar to the Astralicia, but it's a smaller ship. So this actually might be kind of what we're looking for a little bit. But I think we're still going to avoid maybe those side masts like that. That's sort of like trident mast. But we could try it. We'll try it out. And if it doesn't look good, then we'll ditch it. So those same little posts on the end, I like those a lot. I think we're going to do those. And then again, we got the same sort of post right here, melding in, but this one's a lot simpler. These little balconies. So we got the bigger one with the metal and the railing. We got the smaller one with the wood. Now we don't need to make 2 different ones. We'll see how they look when we try to make one. But yeah, this is sort of a hybrid between the 2. And this one is the same, I believe, right? These 2 are identical ships. Believe they're identical, yeah. Okay. So it's using the same like pieces. It's just assembling them slightly differently, which is good to see actually, because we're going to be taking the pieces and assembling our own. So it's nice to see the sort of variant format of these ships. We're just going to quickly run through this one while I'm recording, and that'll be our other reference. Okay, and then maybe we'll take a look at the other port, just in case there's a different one. Morbi might have one too. We should just go to everywhere. We'll go to each zone. Each zone that we think has one. Just in case. For diligence's sake. Never say I'm not a diligent streamer, okay? Speaking of streaming, have you guys seen that weird new that weird new feature that they've added? With the knock system, the collaborating system? It's very strange. I can see some instances in which it might be useful, because I do know streamers who kind of just jump into collabs on stream where they're just like, oh, that person's doing the same thing as me, and we're very good friends, and it'd be fun to just do something improv. And so, like, kind of useful for that, I guess, but like the fact that it's so open right now is a little strange. These, yeah, everybody's favorite grapes. They're a little higher res now, but how can you hate them? Is there a ship here? No? Man, it's not a very good port then. I for some reason, I think my brain was conflating a different area with Wineport, but Wineport's not actually a port. It's just kind of called that. Is it? Yeah, let's go to Morbi. I think I was blending a few of the visuals of some of these zones. I know that Morbi's on the water, right? Wait, but it's called the Morbi Dry Dock. Maybe there is no water. Is it Swift Perch that I was thinking of? Probably. Oh, there's water, but there's no ship. Actually, there looks to be something. Maybe they're building one over there? Is it inside here? Can we go inside here? Oh, okay. There we go. That's what I was thinking of. Okay, interesting. That's actually cool. I don't think I've ever really paid much attention to this specific part of the map. It's half built, so it's just all the pieces, but disassembled. That's actually really interesting. It doesn't help us a ton, but it is really cool to see. So like you can see they haven't built the railings proper yet. Not fastened in the bowsprit. Not. It's almost like this would be the inside of the ship, right? Like it's almost like it's not done yet. That's really cool. But yeah, see, even like all throughout Lenosha, even though this is not like they just used the same carpentry skills that they were using on their boats in their buildings. So like this would look akin to a ship right here, but it's a part of the wall. And so it's very important to the Limsa identity. This sort of wood, white stone, and black iron. This like right here, this exact aesthetic is so like Lenoshan. Like you can't get any more Limsa Laminsa than this, can you? Okay, so this doesn't help us much. Let's go to Swiftbridge, because I feel like it's Camp Overlook and Camp Bronze Lake don't really have anything. Summerford, not really. Let's try Swiftbridge as the last option. Actually, you know what? Charlayan might also have some boats that we could take a peek at. Maybe we'll go there. It's been a while since I've been to Charlayan. We used to be there all the time, but now I kind of feel like I miss it. Nah, not really anything here. Is it? Oh, Airport. Yeah, okay. I was just thinking Airport, but we already went there. Yeah, we've been there. Okay. Then let's go quickly to Charlayan, just for the sake of not missing anything. Because I don't remember if you can see many boats here. I know you can see some in Tuliolao, but they're not like the same. It's obviously a different architecture style. But with them not really being seafaring people at all. And then we'll start into the actual map. Now, should we? I've been trying to queue for stuff, and I think maybe we should just queue for it while we're working on the map. And if I hear it pop, then we'll just switch back over. And do a quick instant. Because the things I'm queuing for won't actually take that long, they just might have a longer queue time. Yeah, I wasn't sure about the boats here. I think they're smaller, but I just wanted to see them. Because I think they have a different aesthetic. Yeah, they do. But they still use that same sort of black iron. FF14 likes that black iron a lot, see? Man, the like blue tiling of Charlayan is so nice. So it's also like a way readier wood too. Nisa has completed adventure. Should we go see what that is? See what Nisa's brought us? I think we should see what Nisa's brought us. So I was gonna queue for either M2, because I still have a thing I need to get in M2 for this week, and it resets tomorrow. or queue for a Relic Reborn the Hydra for no reason. Well, I guess I'm trying to get the Bravura Atma. So I need to queue for it as a warrior. Alright, Nisa, what you got for us? Boo, useless. Come back when you got something good, Nisa. She's so tall. She's also quite rich. I've just left all the money with her because I feel like I'll just waste it if I have it in my inventory. If I have it in my wallet. So I just leave all the money I make on the market board with her. And so she just gets richer and richer. She is at this point richer than I am. But I did spend a bunch recently trying to overhaul my island. Alright. Now I could go turn this in for seals, but I'm a little lazy. I actually think I'm capped out on seals as well. So is there a serpent seals cap? Yes, there is, and I've hit it. So we'll just chuck that. Too lazy. Alright. Let's see how long it would take us to queue for this. And then we'll, if it says like a half an hour, but if it just pops instantly, that would throw a wrench in what I'm trying to do. 12 minutes? All right. That's good enough. Oh wait, hang on. I do have the Bravura Atma, or I do have the unfinished Bravura equipped. Yes, okay, good. Thank goodness. I've been leveling warrior recently. That's why I'm doing this. And I like the look of the, well, it's Ardbridge axe, and I kind of want it for sentimentality reasons. Anyway. Okay, we'll queue that, and then we'll go and work on the map. Okay. And if it pops, we will try to jump back and see if we can get in. Ooh, loud. Okay. So, we've got some existing maps already. Now you can see how we've done that black iron aesthetic, see? We got the faded wood, we got the black iron. We even did a railing here, see? So we've kind of got the building blocks already kind of nailed. And this stuff looks pretty dead on to Limsa. Did it here as well with some detail, see? Kind of that basketball court look. See? See? We kind of got it. We kind of know what we're doing here. And so we're gonna make another one. Now, for the sake of simplicity, I think we might just clone this one so that we have all the assets saved still. The way that I use them here, like the specific hues I chose and stuff, and then we'll just edit this. And we'll delete everything that's in it, but it'll keep the like presets that I made when I was making that one. That's an incarnate hack for those of you who use this website to make maps. If you like how one looked and you want it to match the aesthetic, just clone it and use those same things. Because see, now when I pull this up, see, I've got everything saved into my recently used still because it's a clone of the other one. So I've still got the assets I used. I just need to kind of tweak them again to make sure that they fit this new aesthetic that we're doing. So let's just remove everything. Take out everything. Get rid of that. See all the painting we did last time. Now without the borders. And then we're going to go top layer first and clear that. So probably painted some shadows. There they go. And then we'll just start out maybe with this water. And now we want boat. Okay. So we've got some things we can start off with. Actually, let's just use the ship filter because that'll find all of them. I always forget what it is. So we've got a few things we can start out with, and let's maybe try to find the best one for us, so that we at least have a starting place. So that'll save us some time. They made these composites that help when you're trying to make a lot of things quickly. Because all of this we can create ourselves using every individual piece. These are just assembled out of the existing pieces. Like those are staircases we can place. There's the mast. All these are pieces we can place down ourselves, which we might end up having to do. But I want to see what we got to start with so that we know what direction we want to go. So I do like that, but it's not quite the right aesthetic, is it? So we could start with, these are the interior walls. We could use something like this, but I don't know if they really have that, do they? They don't really have that kind of railing, so we might end up just from scratch making our own. That is why I said this would be hard. Is because I am anticipating having to make our own boat from scratch, which is an extra step, to say the least. Now, as far as these, they all use that same vibe railing, right? They do. Okay. But we would use something like this to make ours, see? See the difference there? Those little, like, kind of parapet wall things, almost like it's a tower in a castle, versus just something smooth. I think we might end up having to maybe take the shape of this and use that just as a general basis, right? Now, it's going to look kind of small, but it's because when we zoom in, we want the players to kind of, when they focus on the fight and zoom in or focus on the map itself, they get a nice bit of water on either side. We don't want to make it like perfectly rectangular where it's like just right there and there, because then they'll see the black border, and that's not super immersive. So I usually leave a lot of water on either side, and I do sort of generally squares for pirate ships, or just ships in general, I guess, so that they can have a good amount of everything on either side. Now the problem is, drawing this by hand is going to be rough. So we're going to want to use this. And I think maybe if we just did something like this, started to create some of the lines, put them up here, and just drew the shape in general. Something like that. This actually might not be too bad using the nodes. So we'll just get a shape in here, and then we'll shift some of the nodes around to get a better, more accurate shape. But I just want to recreate this for starters, so that we got the general railing of the outside of the ship. And then we'll just kind of like gentle curve here. Place a lot of nodes so that it's a nice gradual curve. And then it actually gets a little steeper right here. The good thing about using nodes is they're all freely editable, so we can just completely shift the ship up whenever we want. Go straight across there. And do the same thing on our way back. The system, the pen system that we've got here, is one of the most useful things that I've ever seen a map editor add. Because it has a like portal system inside of it. How far does this go straight? All the way to here? There's a portal system built into it that you can see right over here that lets us just add holes in our walls whenever we want, which is super, super useful for maps. Because you have a lot of doors, you have a lot of hallways and stuff, and you don't always think those ahead. I used to have to plan them all ahead, right? Okay, so now we got that general shape. That's actually pretty good. And that node system will be perfect for making the other parts of the ship. Damn, okay. This would have been an impossible map a year ago in Incarnate. But with the new system that they've done in their 2.0, it's very doable. So I guess this is showing off how much the engine's improved. Okay. So I'm just gonna grab my reference quick. I'm gonna use mute that so I don't have to hear myself. Drink it a little bit so I can still see you guys. I'm not gonna pull it up. I'm not gonna waste time doing that. It's just for me to glance at. So I'm not gonna pull it up on stream. You guys saw me run around. So shape-wise, I actually want to look at maybe the Astelistia. Well, actually, they do kind of have a general shape, but they tend to have a bit of a fatter back end. So maybe we'll take some of these nodes and almost like jut them out like that. Now we'd have to, do it all properly and stuff, and I'll just recreate this back there, but trying to think general shape. What do we want? Kind of like a fatter after the ship, and then maybe even like a little segment in here where we kind of jut these in. Could be interesting. That does give us a bit more of an FF14 silhouette to our ship. Let's take these. We got one here that will lower. Like so. And then we'll delete some nodes. We'll take these ones out. And just leave one. Something like that. It's a little closer. I think this one might go out a little further. You know what? This one's actually higher up. Which is why we got a bit of a... I do think it'd be nice to have a bit of like a... when I'm drawing the nodes... When I'm drawing the nodes, I have a tool that I can use as a ruler. It might be kind of nice to have a second one while doing this. Because when I'm dragging these nodes around, it'd be nice to have like a hard lock onto the line that the node is like currently in or something like that. That'd be kind of neat. So that if I wanted to move it up in the same line, I could know that it was 100% dead on. Or if I wanted to move it over along the same sort of like cardinal, I could do that. That could be a cool thing to add. Incarnate, hire me. And then we've got another one right here. Actually, let's place that one first. Jet that thing in. And then we've got another little node here, and we jet that one to be in line with it. Okay. So now we got a bit of a unique silhouette to our boat. Some matching nodes to kind of get the same look on either side. Okay, so let's just grab that and just move it over here. Now this didn't come with it. That's because I created it as a separate thing and we didn't have melding on. That's fine. So this is how we separate out our new railing. So that'll be like the general shape, but we're going to have another bit out here, right? Now I do think the backs are a little more round on these ships. So we could round it out a little bit. Create more of a round shape here. So I was just trying to make it so that I could easily keep it the same. But if we added a few nodes in there and just rounded it off, probably look a little closer to what we've got. I do think, yeah, they all have a rounded back. Let's grab that vertical view for a second that I made in that one shot here. And take a peek at what we've got in comparison. So it does have that jutted in section, but we didn't necessarily need to do it like a hard jut in there, but it does look fine. We could take that node out here and here and just let that be sort of a gradual thing. And round the front and maybe round this bit here too. Yeah, there's a lot of rounded edges on these boats. So we're going to take... let's grab this and this, group them. Actually, we don't want to... Oh, that was my pop. Hang on. See if we can get back in by the time that cue pop. Alright, I guess we're doing this. I don't remember this fight. I'm sure it's fine, right? I'll just off tank. Tally. Oh man, the old music. Now I think, okay, Akila's my tank. I think we're supposed to stand on top of each other for this one, if I remember. It's got an attack that hits less hard if it hits both of us, but I don't think that'll really matter much. Looks like he's at least 90 plus, so I think we'll be just fine. Got the wyvern. Wow. I think we're supposed to stand on top of it for this, right? Yep. Come on, guys. You guys don't remember our Relic Reborn all the way back in the day? Come on, guys. Really, gang? Look at them. Running into the flame with their spear. Tisk tisk. Think back in the day, you'd tank this guy by the wall so that you could see when he was moving a little easier, right? So he runs to the center to do mechanics. I think that's how it went. This is something I've not done in like 8 or more years, so who knows? It's not very hard, but yeah, he was level 96, so he was just fine. I'm using the lower level axe, so I was never gonna keep up in terms of hero roll. Command healer. Good job. All right. I just wanted to do that because I was doing the relics for Bravura Atma. And so I figured that would be a longer queue. So I was like, well, while we're in game, we might as well just queue it. So apologies for that quick interruption. And we can now go back to our previously scheduled programming. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've done the Relic Reborn stuff. Kind of fun to see them again. It's not like they're really content that requires much thought anymore, but it's just nice to see it, hear the old music and stuff. Alright, I'm not gonna go talk to Geralt on stream. Okay, here we are, we're back. We returned from our commercial break. Okay. So, we were looking at silhouette of our ship. So we wanted to round out the back there. Let's do that first. So, we're going to add nodes here, here, and here, and here, kind of like halfway in between everything. Here and here. Oh yeah, we didn't quite have this rack, did we? I didn't add that extra bend. That bend should be here. But we'll just try to balance it out. So we'll just kind of round the whole thing off. And we'll do maybe this in a bit more. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe we'll take these up a bit, give them a bit more of a dynamic silhouette, a more aerodynamic. Pull that in a bit. Okay, so turning all that off, does it look all right? I say it looks pretty good. It's a little wonky, but we can tweak that. We got a bit of wonkiness here. This is not quite center. Take this up a bit. Partially because this is a different part of the map. It's a little less wonky. I think it's a little wider out here. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we're going to come in here. And we could round this bit out. I just want to take one more look at the Astalysia first and see if we like that one better. See, the Astalysia comes to a point. So in neither of them, in neither design, do we need this flat. So it's either going to be rounded the way we did the back here, or it'll be to a point, and the bowsprit will come in and meld with that point. I think we can safely get rid of that. But actually, I'm just going to leave it off the side of the map so we can grab it again if we need it. Much better than just deleting it and having to find it again. So we'll do something like this, about there-ish, in our actual map. So now, that's about right. We're going to adjust colors and stuff after. I'm just purely going for shape right now. We're building the skeleton, if you'll pardon the lich pun. Is there a bit of wonkiness? down here. Yeah, we'll iron that out. It's not, it's a little lopsided. That's because we're doing it by hand. But we'll iron that stuff out. That's why a ruler tool would be really useful, because then we would always be able to align it. We got the ruler, but I'll merge the ruler into the nodes and stuff. Because you already kind of half did that. Just go take the next step. And Charlemagne's around the world will praise you. Okay. Let's actually try doing this. Boom. Boom. I'm taking this out to a reasonable measure. Yeah, see, we're not quite even on this level here either. The problem is the more complicated the design we get, the more it starts to become obvious that we're doing it by hand. Now, what if we kind of really cut this in a bit here? So we're wonky because of the way we've gotten here, see? Yeah, we didn't do an even sort of cut here. Which, to be fair, a little tricky, but... Okay, that's not even, but it's also not terrible. Plus, the bowsprit's going to cover that. Let's get that now. So we're going to put something huge right here. Boom. Actually, it's already got a little bit of detailing on it. So we're going to kind of cover that. Does that make it more obvious, though, that we fucked up the shape of the ship? A little bit. And we're going to put these at the back. Shrink them down a little bit. Take 1, 2, 3, and shrink these down. From here. Okay. Now we could take this and we could resize it. Be more like this. Give us lots of ample room on either end. To mess around with the map. Okay. Once this reloads, we should have a bigger map to work with. Without having to do too much extra effort. Should fill in our ocean there. Let's go. Okay. So now we can actually see those sections of our ship. So we'll put this kind of nice and far out. There. So that's about the shape we're aiming for. And we can always tweak these little things here and there. And then... Now... It's pretty big. Pretty chunky. In the other ships. Let's make sure it's nice and big here. It's going to be hard to blend that. That's going to be one of the toughest challenges of this boat we're making. So next we're going to, well, let's see. Back of the ship wise, and then with rounded plus the ornate bit. Guess we ought to decide where we're putting the helm, which I do think from the ship that we've drawn right here, I do kind of think we've basically decided. Does seem like here is pretty good, and then we'll put the cannon up there to kind of balance things. So let's actually quickly grab something to represent the stairs. I'm not necessarily going to use these one-to-one, but we'll just get something there. What would be the best to start off with? Maybe these. So we'll take this, and we'll just try to put them where we hope that they'll go. Something like that, perhaps. And then we'll have sort of a section here. And then we'll put maybe a mast down in here in between them, and then a mast up here. Actually, that's another thing we should be figuring out, is that we'll do a mast here and a mast here. And then we'll do sort of a helm here. I'm just using this to represent. We might swap assets out, but I just want to know where I'm putting stuff. So we'll do something like that. And then we'll do maybe like that curved railing as well. And we'll kind of have that jut out here, maybe. Or we could even tuck these deeper. And then do something like that. Now we could do here and another one, do like a mainsail and a mizzen and everything. Like we could do that, but I feel like we're gonna be blocking off our ship with sails. So I think I just want to do two, even if it's not the most seaworthy vessel. So we'll kind of arrange it like this. It'll be our general shape. And then this will be the actual railing. I want to maybe adjust, actually. Now that we're seeing this a little better. Where did we go wrong? Pop this out a little bit. Yeah, we're probably always going to be a little lopsided with this ship since we're drawing it ourselves. That's all right. It'll look fine once it's all done. As long as we try to keep it reined in as best we can, it should be fine. Now, next thing we need to do is we need to grab, well, it's actually already here. We need to grab our metal. Oh, undo that. We want to unselect. Make a new one. Like that. Okay. So let's just take this and let's get the yellows out of it, darken it. We got almost a black. Just a little bit with the contrast so it has a bit more something to it. And then this is sort of our iron that we'll use. Stroke scale down so that it's a little bit less noticeable. Okay, so we take something like that, lock our ship itself, and then we're going to just draw a railing. Go around the helm. So we want them from the top here. Oops, we're not on the node. There we go. We're on the pen. We're not on the pen tool. So we want to do something like this. Here to here. And here to here. Like that. And then down a layer. Try to center this. Drop that under. We could make this sit flush, maybe. Might look a little tighter. Let's do that. Node edit, grab this. And let's move this up so that the stairs can sit flush. Now they won't sit right against here. We're going to move them out a little bit because they got a bit of a metal border on either side. But that kind of vibe, what we're looking for. Make this, make sure that actually sits straight. Thank you. And we didn't go quite as drastic here, see? Top down. We need to go out a little further here. Yeah. Ugly. Looks much better like that, even if it's a little lopsided. Okay. So then we'll do stairs, stairs. And then we'll take this, come back in to edit that. Now we're gonna do 1, 2, starting the arc. Around. We could actually curve this. Actually, let's maybe try that. Oops. We could have just probably done this on the other thing too. That's easy. Imagine that. But I'm always a little finicky about curved pens. I don't know why. Maybe if I used it more, you would actually get used to it. But I actually completely forgot I could do that. That's still wonky. Let's fix that. Let's add a bunch of little curves in here. See, another instance where the ruler tool will be useful is in telling if my two lines are equidistant here, because otherwise I have to do elaborate thing just to test. I have to do this. Anyways, seem to be pretty good, but perhaps maybe a little too far over in the center of the ship. Now we'll kind of even that out a little bit. Got sort of an odd shape here. It's going to be a lot of adjusting, which is, again, why I knew this one was going to be tough. And we'll be further back. More like that. Okay. Okay. Ugh. Kind of stretch. Maybe we'll take a break and we'll do Honeybee Lovely like halfway through, because this map will be a long one. Maybe if I need a mental break. Okay. Let's look at the reference again. So I kind of want to leave maybe some of the other basketball floor lines until later. So for now, maybe we just make sure all of the structures in place. So we want to actually don't merge any shapes. We want little boxes around these because they do transition to metal around these. That's going to be a bit too big. Something like this. Off the shadows. Same for this one. Okay. So we got sort of like metal surrounding the mast, so we want to do that. And then at the front of the ship, I'm creating the borders so that I know where to draw, basically. In front of the ship, we've got like this segment here. Well, what's that? What's happening here? I always get distracted by things. I apologize. Okay. And then this is the Astalysia. Is that what I'm looking at? Yeah. Let's maybe look at the other one. I don't know if I love the way this one looks. Let's look at the one in Costa. It's a little simpler. I say let's, but I know I'm just looking at it by myself. Okay. So it's almost like a little slightly curved triangle that kind of starts in like that and comes in like that. Okay, so let's do that maybe. We'll just make a triangle. And then we'll fix it. With the nodes. Kind of bend it a bit. Okay. Now we should actually try to maybe paint the whole ship so that we can see where our stuff is a little easier. So let's actually maybe focus on color right now. First things first, we'll actually do the wood of the ship. Probably just with this. Yeah. Yeah. We'll use, I think, just our generic wood grain. Texture scale down a little further, like that. Maybe not. Maybe not. False alarm. Okay. And then, color-wise, I think it's something kind of like this. Let's just paint. So that's pretty good. Maybe a little grayer. Let me pull up one that's not in the rain so we can get a better. So it's actually a little grayer still. And even a little bit brighter, actually. It's almost like a white grain in Costa. There. Okay. So we're just gonna roughly paint this in. To do it quickly, we'll come back around and clean that up. Just need to know where everything's gonna be. Okay. Still am noticing weirdness here. Bits of lumpiness, which we need to fix before we do any painting of the water. So we need a nice, good border to work with. Okay. So a little more like that. There. It's a little more even. Still lopsided. Okay, my eyes still see it. That's a shame. This is a pretty complex shape. And it's the first time we've done it. So we learn. Now, we want to mess with the hues of this as well. So we'll maybe drain some of the saturation away. Make it match like that. Do that to these as well. Make sure that everything nicely matches. Paint this properly. We'll maybe add a bit of weathering in at the end. Some kind of color differentials, but for now, we just want everything to match. Okay. we'll do something like that. We'll take these, adjust them a bit. Okay. Now, add a bit of water so that we can get the right vibe. So I typically kind of do a mix in my water. I've talked about this before, but my water is usually a mix of like multiple things. We use a lot of different stuff because water can look a little wallpapery. You use too much of the same. We're gonna get sort of a constant vibe here. This will be a little bit tougher because we need to come in here and fix this now. Let's clean all this up right now. Luckily, once we get the actual structure down, it should be pretty easy to just populate the ship out with stuff. Because this just creates barrels, rope, bottles, like pirate clutter, basically. And that kind of thing tends to go pretty quickly. It's just this, the bulk of this work is going to be, it's very top heavy. We got to start off with a lot of work. And then we can populate it out pretty quick. Maybe we'll put a shark in the water. Maybe we'll add some waves and stuff around the base of the ship, but some of that stuff will be a little harder since we're working with a custom ship. And we won't be able to paint under quite as accurately, but we'll still do a lot of the legwork. Okay. There we go. Alright, nice and clean. And then took out all of our water. Okay, so color-wise, we're actually in Costa del Sol dealing with quite a bit of a green tone. I don't always use that green tone, but we'll add a bit of it here. At the very least, we're going to create a bit of a gradient here. I like to do this. Because the water around a boat is churned up a little bit usually. Waves breaking against it and stuff. So I like to kind of lighten the water a bit there. And then we'll take that same green and we'll just apply some loose bits here and there. This ship can't really be at that shallow waters, but we'll just kind of gradient it out into something like this one. Drop this as low as we can go, basically, and just create a constant across the map so that there's no clear line where one color starts and stops. Which is why I like to start with that darker kind of color and then brighten it up. It's a lot easier to do that than the inverse. Okay, so now we got a bit more interesting water. Kind of looks like it gets a little deeper and a little darker. It's got some waves over here. We could try mixing in some waves if we wanted. Kind of in and over here. And then we'll have to do the shadows towards the end. Make sure that we know the actual silhouette first. Or something like that. And then we've got dark we can use in the water. We'll do some sharks, like so. We'll mirror that. Is there something we could use? Something like this. I'm trying to make like a shark fin poking out of the water. And then like that. That looks pretty good. We'll just take it and we'll do 1, 2, and we'll just barely fade it away. Okay, pretty good. That. And with this. Flip it. Take one more of those waves. Come on either side. Fix the transformation. There. Alright. Now we got sharks swimming around. Oh, sorry. I had the other thing covering my stream. I didn't see you all. Thanks for the 29 months. And thank you for the save check as well. We'll save the map. This is Costa del Sol pirate ship. Yeah, we wouldn't want to lose this one in particular because this was a lot of work. But yeah, I wasn't ignoring you. I just had my reference picture covering Streamlabs, so I wasn't looking at the stream for a sec. Okay. All right. Shark's done. Out of the way. Let's get that. And then maybe we'll clean up this a little bit too. Nice and tight, right in here. Get rid of those blue hues that I've created. And then we'll have to draw our shadows at some point as well. But I think I said that already. It looks like the ship's sitting a little too low in the water right now, so we'll paint some big shadows to give it a bit of depth. Carve that out. Like so. There, nice and cleaned up. Yeah, so we kind of have a bit of a shadow, but we want to paint like a big one. Give it some nice depth. Now that we've got this, we should create another one of these things. Might even be able to just duplicate this and adjust it. Put it up here. Yeah, again, the more things we add, the more wonky our ship starts to look. Just because of the way that we're not evenly doing everything. But we'll adjust this one to make it a little better. So for starters, place these even. And yeah, again, ruler tool would have been so nice. Actually, you know what? Let's create one from scratch. Let's do one from scratch. That way we can actually do it properly. And then it's always funny how terrible it looks right off the bat. But some of these can be straight for the sake of it. Okay. Not too bad. Not too even either. Something like this. It's pretty good. Okay. Take these. Push them back a bit. Alright. That's pretty good shape. So let's grab our cannon and decide where we want to put that so that it's all nice and even. So do we want to put that on this layer or do we want to put that down here? I think maybe up there is a little better. And then we'll put like a little short step maybe. We should put some cannonballs next to it while we're looking at that. Are they in the same? Yes, they are. Some little short steps down here. And then we could even do like this. Oh, actually, these might be the wrong way around. They are. And then we could even do something like this. And then we'll use shadows to really enhance the tiers of our ship here. We're just trying to get them organized for starters. I think doing something like this would be alright. Down one layer. Take these. There, so there's sort of like a little lower section in there, and then it's raised up at the front. Could even do that here as well. Something like that. Take these, duplicate them. Drag that over here. Something like that. And then leave this part for kind of a wider area. Okay. Right. So looking fairly symmetrical. It's not perfect, that's for sure, but to the eye, if it looks fine, then that's what counts. So drain some of the saturation away from these because it doesn't affect the steel too much. Now, ideally, actually, let me look at the other cannons again. Ideally, we would want a sort of like a darker cannon. So, maybe we do this. Combine the best of both worlds. I think that works. Okay. So there's our boat shape. It's coming together. Now, details wise, what else do we want to do? We're gonna have to paint some patterns in here. And some panels. We'll need rope. Can I do a wall of rope? Yes, I can. Beautiful. That's exactly what I need right now. So we'll take this and we'll just connect these. Like that. That's not right. that, and that. Perfect. What? Hello? Sir? Yeah. Ah, thank you. Okay, and then we'll scale that up a little bit so you can see it a bit better. Drop it down a layer. And then maybe we will adjust things. It's never gonna look perfect because don't forget that we're a little lopsided here as well. But we just need to make it look like it's the illusion of perfect. And then maybe we'll even, what if we curve that node? Nah, I think I like it straight better. And then there would be ropes like this coming out here. Yeah, this is so much easier. I used to have to do all these ropes by hand when making ships, and that took forever. This is so much nicer. Try to make these match as much as we can so that it keeps the symmetrical vibe. Okay. And then I want to take metal bits and start to see like what kind of stuff we've got here. So things like this could be good. Things like this. There's nice squares. Also these. Thinking maybe these could even be good, but actually it might be just easier to do this and take these. Right? And then do metal bits fastening here. So we'll go up, do that. Black metal, matching. No shadow. Black metal here, where the ropes would be fastened. And then, problem is, this is just a metal spire here. This whole thing is just metal. I'm trying to see if we can maybe warp that in. That's not bad. I don't like the shape of that though. Let's see if there's anything else we got. Actually, some of the walls might work good for this, because we can make it match color of our metal, then we can get some different patterns in here. So something like it's transparent. That doesn't really work. Or maybe, hang on, take it down. Be good for like detailing. Actually, yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe even down here, where we actually will connect the thing. And then what about the Art Deco walls? I know those ones might be good. Use Something like this. And then even manual paint on top of that. To have it be okay, I'm not sure I like these two, but the rest is good. Something like that. All right. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think we're getting there. Let's do our sails. We want to just tie them up so that we don't have to worry so much about them. Now, hang on. Do we have a second one we can use here? Yeah, let's do that. We're going to add metal to these. Ugh. Stretch. Okay, so far actually these staircases don't quite match the right color, so let's just quickly bop and bop. Actually a little brighter than that because we're going to paint them anyway. So let's do something like that. That's a lot better. Let's take these two, the wood to the same color. Let's maybe try that skylight thing. Like that. Okay. Man, this is such a hyper-specific type of map. But I think it's looking pretty good so far. Now, in the end of this is all solid black, so we'll paint this maybe. And then we could even take... Oops. This, 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 this. Could even just pump that up. Like so. That looks good. And then we'll just take this, duplicate that, put another one here. Now we got 2 rings. Okay, there we go. It's a little better. Paint that dark metal, but maybe we'll actually shrink it a little bit. Bring it up here. Like so. Give it a little more room to breathe. Then we'll come back in here. We'll edit these so that they match here and here. Very nice. All right. We had a metal helm. And we need to create a sort of mechanism for it to sit on. So we can maybe do something like this. And then do something like this. Very good. Then we need to figure out what we're going to paint black metal with. So we need to find metal first things first. Now we can use this one. I think it's going to be good. But if we don't like this one, we can actually try some of the cyberpunk ones and mess around with that a little bit. I do actually think this one will be pretty good, as long as we get the texture scaling right. And then we shift it to be pretty symmetrical, like if we do something like this on our horizontal offset. Come in here. Just some nice lines. Just kind of a detail to that black metal there. Perfect. Come in like that. Along here. A bit bigger. Okay. Make this. Actually make it a bit bigger. Make this. Make it a bit taller. There. Nope. Okay. Pretty good. And then we're going to do the same thing here, but now that we're working with squares, we can paint with a square, but we want to see horizontal offset, vertical offset wise. I want to just do something like that. Something here. Horizontal offset, nice and even with the mass, so that things keep the impression of being symmetrical. Come in here. Maybe brighten this one up a bit. There we go. And then we're gonna do something else with that one. Okay, so now I got those dark kind of steel segments. Looks good. Okay. We have more patterns to draw, because there's a lot of this stuff. For starters, maybe let's work with the back of one of these books. I'm gonna just pull up a couple more references. I think we're gonna do the Astalicia's back. And almost create a bit of a scoop here. That could be cool. I do kind of like this, yeah. Hang on. So it's gonna be something like this. We just carry on from directly from here. And then we go boop. And we come down in here and we kind of like that. Make these little scoops. Now we're gonna have to adjust that one there. Okay. Now nodes, let's grab them from some quick fixes. Take that up there. Take that over here. Soften that. Round it out. It's about the same. I mean, yeah, that is kind of the same. Pop that down. Okay. And we do need to do railings as well, which can be done. The metal bit I was saying earlier. Metal. Or the plinth thing I was using in the other one. We'll try both. So we'll do something like this. Boom. Not quite as dark. That. Like that. And then we'll kind of start to curve them. Like this. Sure, we have an even number of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's an even number. Beautiful. Take these and do something like that. And then we'll connect them in with a better railing, but maybe we'll bring this over here as well. Then take these two and just kind of darken them. That one in particular a little darker because it's not sitting in the shadow. Very nice. And then we're going to take the rail. This. Actually, do we have that in this? Beautiful. Take it and darken it, and then we'll kind of just do this. Something like that. But we'll fix it up before we draw it. Something like that, I think. Could be good. Okay. Let's take this node. Dial it back a bit. Okay. And then maybe we want to do here to here. And here to here. Okay, 2 more of these. No thanks. I don't want cheap viewers. All my viewers are expensive, so I'll pass on your cheap viewers. Only high rollers around here. Did I put one of these here? Or did I just move it? Bring that down a bit. Okay. That creates like a railing here. Intriguing. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if we should do the same thing there. I don't think it quite works there because of the nature of what we've done. Should take maybe metal. A little wary about this, but maybe something to sit below and something to sit above. As above, so below. Like so. And then okay, we're getting there. I can sense that we're getting there. The aesthetics are starting to line up a little more closely. Okay. Were we gonna do metal bits on the mast too, weren't we? Grab some metal bits then. Just kind of doing what we did on the bowsprit and just keeping that metal vibe quite constant throughout. Kind of subtle enough to not catch the eye. Something like that. There we go. Alright. Making progress. Oh, you know what? Would this be not that bad for this segment here? Now that I think about it. This could be good. Hang on. Just want to make sure it like perfectly fits though. Can't quite see it. It's hard. But since we're doing this, we can just adjust it. Scale wise, maybe a little smaller. Yeah, that's not bad. There we go. A little bit over. Like that. I mean, that's pretty good, right? That's pretty dead on to what we had on the Astalicia. We need to draw some patterns in here. That's the only thing. And then we need some crates and clutter. I need to just look at the patterns now across some of these ships. A lot of them are, you know, pretty standard. I do think maybe another one here would be alright. And then maybe something like this. Would help. And then something like this. Welcome back, balcony. Are you done your your meeting's over? That was fast, at least. Pretty painless. What do you think? They put a picture of you in the slideshow? Man, that meeting of yours just keeps getting worse and worse, huh? First it's on Discord, now they're doing slideshows with pictures of employees in it. That sounds awful. What do you think? Are we nailing the vibe? That entire arc we went on, when we were just making ships over and over and over again for weeks, that was all training for this. Because this looks like, you know, okay, actually, Balcony, you know this because you've used Incarnate. You know the composite ships that it gives you? The ones that you can kind of use to have the shape already? Yeah, this is not that. We drew this by hand. Yeah. See, I figured you would appreciate that. We only used the composite as a reference for the shape we wanted. But then we had to change the shape anyway, so it didn't really matter. Maybe we could do some metal fasteners like this. To keep that metal consistent. And a lot of detail in this one because we're trying to keep the right vibe. Okay. This skylight section is pretty good, actually. Kind of like it a lot. When you zoom out, it's kind of dead on to what the Astalicia has in Limsa. I was thinking maybe another set of these. And then maybe even something like this. Straight down. We're doing the basketball court patterns that they always do on these ships. With the intricate sort of black metal. You tried farming fates for bicolors? What do you need the bicolor gemstones for? What could you possibly need those for? Yeah, fate farming is rough. Shared fates and all that. It's needs dark waters are questionable. I see. Alright, I understand. You bought off the market board, but it was expensive. You want to make your money back? Yeah, that's gonna be. It's not an ideal way to make your money back. That's for sure. Take you a bit. Fate farming is slow. Okay. Do we think we need to add more patterns, or are we kind of good on that front in terms of the black iron that we're using? Patterns look good. Okay. Our basketball court patterns look good. Okay, so I think there's a few shadows we need to tweak. I'm still thinking maybe we should try turning off the shadows here. And then actually adding in... Alright, that might be a little unhinged even for me. I think maybe we won't do that. Maybe we don't do that. But okay, actually, let's start in on the shadows before we get too crazy with it. We need nice low opacity. Back to our tool here. Ooh, you know what? The sails are up, so we actually don't need to make the ship moving. So let's just some painting going. And then we can actually... Yeah, that won't be too bad, actually. Now that I think about it. So we're going to give some nice depth to everything. Like so. Now, see, when I first was like, oh, we should try making FF14 maps in TTRPG format, I was kind of like, these probably won't look very good. But honestly, they're actually all kind of turning out pretty good. I'd say we're getting pretty dead on in terms of accuracy to the source material. It's exceeding my expectations. Paint that in. A little bit there. Okay. So those are our shadows here. And we need to raise up this section. So we gotta paint in here. Okay. Make sure it's looking raised up when we zoom out. We'll give our stairs a bit of depth too. Where's the end? Then okay. Looking all right. I think a little off here. Running all around Eorzea for sun and moon minions? Why? Those are so easy to get. We don't need to run all around Eorzea, you just need to go to that one spot. Some of the easiest minions in the game to get. Okay. And then this next segment, you needed your retainer? What do you mean? Okay. So we give a bit of depth here for elixirs. Don't you already have those minions? I swear I already showed you that spot. I definitely showed you. So maybe you just didn't get them while we were there. So I definitely showed you that spot. Okay, there's some depth there. Very nice. We need to do the same here. Oh boy. Shaping up to be quite a map. But I think anybody who's played FF14 before can recognize this aesthetic, and that's the goal. Anybody who's played this game before is going to know that. That this is a Lenotian style seafaring vessel. Okay. Last little lip here. And we'll shade some of the stairs. And do something like this, maybe? Create the illusion that these are lowered sections of the ship. Something like that. Very nice. I mean, it's pretty darn good. With the depth added, that adds a lot to the look. Shadows are very powerful in Incarnate. You just gotta paint them yourself. The built-in thing is really good. Like it shades all of your assets as you drop them, but sometimes for certain like depth and tiered areas, you really need to just bite the bullet and paint them yourself, because you will get much better look of something like that. I don't know who we should do a bit of manual railing making. I'm gonna take one more look at our references before I bother. See what they look like. And maybe we'll just put like the subtlest light here. Just really, really mild to give it a sense that that's like the interior of the ship. And then actually let's shade along the bowsprit as well. Give that a bit of depth. Okay. Now maybe a little subtle shading here. Just to help raise the ship up. We can't do as heavy on that side because the sun is hitting this side. But just a subtle bit of darkness can really make it pop. Okay. It's not bad. I would say that we're almost done. We just need to shade our stairs. And then we need to potentially look at railings. But the stairs can come first. In the background. So we just do this to give them a bit of depth, because we paint the shadows around here, right? So we have these nice dark shadows, but then I just subtly touch the bottom steps. And then I paint a little bit along the railing. And just when you zoom out, you can see that it adds a little bit of depth to the stairs. Something I've been doing for a long time on all my stairs. It's giving them a bit of depth. See the difference between this one and this one? It's a very subtle effect, but I think it's important. it helps like instantly tell the player which direction the staircase is going, you know? Like you can kind of tell from this already, but if we just touch it up a little bit, it makes it like really, really obvious which part's the low part of the stair and which part's the high part. And visual clarity, we like that. There, see? Very, very subtle effects. Slightest gradient. And I'm happy that the asset does not already contain it. If the asset, like it, you can kind of see a little bit, right? Like just the tiniest bit, but if it was heavier effect, like what I'm doing, it would actually be harder to work with stairs. So I prefer to paint it myself, because then I can really control exactly where I get that gradient going. Like if there's a light source at the bottom, I can lessen the shadows. If there's a light source right here, I can enhance the shadows on the banisters and stuff like that. And so I do prefer to actually paint it myself. Yeah. There we go. Did say I was going to do a little bit of light. So we'll use natural light. And as I always say, you got to be careful on maps where you are in water. I think we're actually going to maybe remove some yellow and drop the opacity a little bit. And just sort of get a more subtle highlight to some stuff. Maybe actually a little more yellow. Just want to give the illusion that the sun's hitting parts of this area without changing the actual colors of everything. And then we'll come back in here and we'll fix what we were doing. Boom, boom. And then we'll just try to see if we can subtly give a bit of a glow here. And just create the implication that it's glowing without too much of an actual glow. Very, very subtle. Now let's just tweak some of it a little bit. There, I think that looks good. All right. Now I said I was going to check our references again for some railing. Yeah, they're pretty complex in terms of railing. So maybe we could even just try to interpret that a bit by just adding a bit of complexity to our railing. So ours is fairly simple right now. Like as is, it's good if we left it like this. It's done, but I think maybe there's some other stuff we could do. Wall-wise, what do we have to work with? something like it's not bad, but it's not good either. Try it as this, maybe. More like that. But we'll put it bottom layer. Turn its shadows off. Just to help complicate the silhouette a bit. I think that kind of thing looks alright. Then actually, let's take a look at the pirate set. See if there's anything in here that we could actually use to... Oh yeah, we didn't clutter it up as well. Like maybe some stuff like this. That look alright? We size it right and put it at the right angle to block off this thing. And then obviously make it black steel. So do that. And that. And then something like that. Complicating our silhouette again. Then maybe some more of these pieces throughout. Like we had something here. It's kind of almost like guiding the wood along, little metal bits. Creating some more complications along our pattern. More visual interest. So that's actually pretty good here. There we go. That's a nice little detail there. I like that a lot. Beautiful. Okay. And then we need to come back around. Grab these. We got a Royal Luna Tender minion from a treasure coffer? What treasure coffer? Like treasure hunt? From a 90 treasure map? pretty good. You and your Luna Tenders. Okay, there we go. That one's in line with that one. Beautiful. I see how it is. You'll do treasure maps by yourself, but you won't do them with me. You try little maps here. I know, I'm just using it. I have 3 different maps sitting in my inventory waiting for you guys. And I can't gather anymore because I haven't used these ones up. That there and there. This here and here. Now we could try. I think I'm overcomplicating things again. Alright. Alright. Consider. What do we want? What do we want? Gotta be something perfect with it. Certain type of like wall cap or something. Actually, you know what? Something like this might actually kind of slap. Yeah, okay, I like that. So we've got all these metal bits on the ships. I don't want too much to be wood, because there's so much metal in the FF14 ones. So we gotta kind of balance it out where we can. And then could paint. We could do that around here too to balance it actually. This is probably one of the most complicated boats I've ever made, which is honestly saying something because we've made a lot of boats on this channel. We had a whole arc where we just made boats for weeks. And there were some pretty complicated ones there. But this is definitely, unless I'm forgetting one, the most complicated one we've made. And we've made ghost ships. And pontoon ships. And Dwarven ships and elven ships made out of still growing plants. Okay. And what if we okay, what kind of top painting should we do? Should maybe do a little bit, just swipe there to round this a little bit. Just a couple swipes. make it look rounded. I like that. A little bit of painting in here. Some depth. And then what if we just created the illusion that it swooped down there? Is that alright? No. We'd have to do something more specific for that, so we'll just leave that alone. This maybe though. Create the illusion that it swoops. With a bit of depth. It's kind of nice. Okay. Many a ship indeed, yeah. Oh yeah, we've made a lot of ships here. Oh, you know what? This is showing, isn't it? There we go. It's a little better. Okay. Sure to keep this nice and dark. Down here. And some shadows in here to give it some depth. Bit of shading here. Just to give the illusion that this is kind of raised up a bit. It is. Okay. Bit of shading here. Okay. And then even a bit of shading like so. And a bit of shading like so. Okay, what do you think? Are we done? Does it look sufficiently Leminson? I'd say so. Ocean fishing coated? Yeah. Exactly. I think we nailed most of the aesthetics of the FF14 style boat. I don't think we're missing much. Let's save that. Maybe we'll go. Let's just go since it's still open. Unless actually I've probably gotten logged out, haven't I? That's all right. Maybe we'll just take one last spin. We'll look at the boat again. See if we created the vibe. We've sort of melded two ships together so that we've taken the best from both, what works from both of them, create our own thing. Actually, what about lighting wise if we did? Sorry, I'm noticing things again. Something nice and big over here just to kind of give the illusion of some sun. This. There. It's a little nicer. Alright. Good. I think it's good. Let's see if I got logged out. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Well, it doesn't take that long to log back in, so we will log back in. Yeah, I think it's pretty darn good. I think we really nailed it. Aesthetics wise, it's pretty nice. Pretty dead on. No mistake in that one. Okay. Let's log back in. Man, this art of Charlene is so nice. And still getting the other audio. Fix that. Okay. So, I think we might have. All right, let's see what Nisa brought before we go. Nope. Try again, Nisa. Get rid of it. Okay, so we basically used the ones in Galeport were sort of the best reference because they were a bit of a combo. They're not quite as small as the one in Costa del Sol. They're not quite as big as the one in Limsa Lominsa. So they ended up being the perfect reference. And we didn't do the patterns one-to-one or the shape one-to-one, but we took all the little elements that you can see and we added those to ours. So this is our own little ship that we made, but we've used all the same building blocks to make it look quite accurate. Okay. Oh, and yeah, now Mira completes the venture. I should have noticed. There, see? So we got this little thing at the back here. Oh, I never put any barrels or crates on mine. I'll do that later. He has something. Watch me put a couple barrels on a boat. So we got this little skylight thing that we added. This one's not lit up, but we made ours lit up so it looks a little nicer. We got the helm back here. The little railing. We got the 2 stairs on either side. We got the patterns on the ground. Okay. We got the patterns, say, basketball court. Got the bowsprit melding into the ship. Going all the way out with the black iron. I think it's pretty dead on. I even got these little things at the back here, too. I guess we could put one more little thing going back in on the other side. That's another detail I can add. Oh well, we'll do that later. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think we nailed it. I don't know if you can get much better than that. I was a little afraid of this one. I was like, this is going to be rough, but doing the Limsa Lominsa maps helped me kind of already have the wood and the steel, the black steel, kind of already working for me. And so we really just had to do the ship elements. Worked out quite nicely overall. Alright. Let's check Mira. See if she's... Now, Mira's doing the long one, specifically aiming for a single item. So we'll see if she succeeded. There's quite a wide pool of things she can get, and she's been mostly just bringing back Mahi Mahi, which is not helpful at all. So we'll see if she's managed to bring back the right item. Alright, moment of truth. No. Incorrect. Try again. Let's just sell this quick. I don't think we need to adjust their stuff. Okay. Alright. We're good. We're done. Okay. So I think we'll wrap up here. We've been going for 3 hours. That was a long map. It's one of the longer ones I've ever made. Just because there was a lot of precise stuff we needed to do. Alright. So. We should have a Gaunt's Gold this week, just to wrap up. We should have a Gaunt's Gold this week, unless anything changes. But nobody's told me so yet, so that means we're going ahead with probably. And then on Friday, we're gonna move it to Friday this week. We're gonna do a Elden Ring Seamless. We usually do Saturdays, but Friday works better this week for some people, so we're gonna swap it over. So we'll do Wednesday and Friday for streams. So we got planned. So yeah, that's what you can look forward to. Gaunt's Gold will be Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and the Elden Ring Seamless co-op with Rika and Seraphim and Bluefin will be Friday, probably also 7. So look forward to that. It'll be a good time. In Gaunt's Gold, they've got some stuff to do. They gotta figure out more things for their heist that they're planning, and in Elden Ring, well, I think we'll be polishing off a few last things in the what is it called? I'm trying to blank. Anyway, so we'll probably be going to Caelid. But we'll be polishing off some swamp stuff first. There's a couple areas that I want Rika to see before we move on. So yeah, Liurnia of the Lakes. That's what it's called. I don't know why I drew a blank on Liurnia of all things, but anyways, we'll finish up in Liurnia. There's like maybe 2-ish things that she's not seen Carrion Manor and stuff like that, so we gotta take care of that stuff, and then we'll maybe move on to Caelid, which will probably be really cursed. Be very interesting to see what some of that stuff is like in Seamless, especially with like Radon and stuff. Anyways, have a good night. We'll wrap up here. Thanks for keeping me company so I don't go crazy while I work. This was quite an intense map to make, so it was nice to have some company. Be able to talk. Anyways, thanks again for the resub that we got, and thank you for watching. See you guys Wednesday, and take care. 7 p.m. Eastern Wednesday. See you then. Have a good night.